The closest finish in NASCAR history was last night in Kansas. We'll talk about the race, the action, the finish, and the biggest storylines next.
One car is up and over, barrel rolling down the back straightaway.
Clear.
And Larson's in the wall. I beat your favorite driver.
And who would that be?
All of them. Goes to Kyle Busch. That's right. Contact between Chastain. Oh, they're in the wall. Chastain and Larson are in the wall.
All the buddies know, and he's always right.
Green flag.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Cameron Simpson. Great to be with you on a Monday. We have just a ton to talk about when it comes to yesterday's NASCAR race at Kansas. The closest finish in NASCAR history between Kyle Larson and, was it Denny Hamlin? No, Chris Buescher. It was Chris Buescher who he got it with. All right, let's talk about it in the entire race and how we even got to this closest finish. Kyle Busch crashed with about 3 laps to go, spun himself out. He ended up finishing 8th, by the way. He was running 4th, so he should have had a top 5. Ends up finishing 8th after that spin out. But let's talk a little bit about this, right? So he spins out. They go to pit road. Some strategy goes on. Some cars, some fuel, some things. They get out of pit road. Kyle Larson gets the command. Buescher there as well. Green flag drops. Some cars go crazy. They're all over the place. The leaders stay neck and neck, all right? And this is a green-white checkered. They come towards the final few laps. Here comes the last lap. And the run that Chris Buescher gets is there, and they're door banging each other as they come out of the corners. Back and forth, absolutely smoking each other in and out of these corners. A very, very competitive finish, a very, very competitive end to a race with cars on the line, drivers putting their cars on the line, team owners allowing drivers to put their cars on the line. So a lot that happened there at the finish that was very, very exciting. That should get everybody excited. That was a great finish. Then there was some other action, but let's just talk about it. 2 races in a row now where we've had a finish of 1 second or under a second, or under 10 seconds, right? 2 races under 10 seconds. That's insane. That is amazing for the sport of NASCAR. And this one is the closest in NASCAR history. I mean, I think you could even argue either way when you look at this image. I mean, you could say, wow, they both had this opportunity to win this race. They were so tight there at the finish. It was incredible. At the beginning, people thought it was Chris Buescher. His team was celebrating. His pit crew was all hyped. And then they find out, sorry, but it's not you. It's the other guy. But still, you can't get over how close it was and the range of emotions for these guys. It has to be high. They have to be excited that they even just had a chance to win this race. So obviously that is up there in the excitement realm, and the team was probably buzzing, and it was the closest finish ever. But we talk about Kyle Larson and his season as a whole, and how he is as a driver, and how he's kind of morphed into one of the better drivers in the NASCAR Cup Series. He continues to prove week in and week out that he is a serious threat for another NASCAR championship. I don't think you can doubt that at this point. He is really been moving lately into championship realm. I have no doubts that he could win another one. I think you're crazy if you do. So I think the way he's been able to run, and the fact that he now gets this closest finish in NASCAR history, it's just like that cherry on top, that huge moment that just kind of blossoms it even more, makes it even better than it already is. So really a serious threat, no doubt, and will probably win a championship before the end of his career. I have firm belief in that. We'll see. If that does end up happening, who knows? All right, let's go to the other news of the day. Let's hear some more interesting things that happened in this race. Let's talk a little bit about the cautions that happened in that third stage. It was tight, it was close. There was bouncing off of each other races in the entire race, and it got towards the end of that run where the end of the stage where drivers were just spinning out left and right. I think we went 4 cautions in less than 25 laps. So very shocked, 25 green laps. Just shocking how quickly we got caution after caution after caution, and the drivers just really putting it on the line. Kansas is the best 1.5-mile track on the circuit. I firmly believe that. There's 5, 6, 7 wides. The move that Chris Buescher made when he made it 6 wide and he just sent his car through there to put himself towards the front, that was an incredible move. That was showing talent and showing that he has the ability to win these races no matter what. So he's up there in consideration of one of the, if not the best NASCAR drivers in the series for making that. I mean, he's one of the better ones out there right now. All right, let's talk about these finishing results. We talked about Kyle Larson. Let's talk a little bit about Chris Buescher. Gets his second place finish. Very good for him and his team in the Fords. They need to get better, though. They're getting there. They're close, but they still need to get better. We'll see if he can do that. Chase Elliott finishes third today. A solid finish for him on this mile and a half. Truex had a really good day going for him. Finishes fourth in this race. Hamlin in fifth. Thought he was going to run away with this race. I mean, it was coming down to mileage, fuel mileage, till Kyle Busch crashed his car. It was tight, very tight, and Kyle Busch crashed, and that ended that battle. Let's go to Christopher Bell. He finishes sixth. Alex Bowman in seventh. Kyle Busch all the way in eighth. He ended up restarting outside the top 20 after spinning out and just drove that car angrily into the top 10. Incredible run for that team. They're back on track, I think. Knock on wood, knock on my head, all of it. Then we have Noah Gragson in ninth. He's really turning it up. That team could be dangerous come the stretch. Michael McDowell in 10th. Brad Kane 11th. Ryan Blaney fallen off a little bit these last few weeks. He's in 12th. John Hunter Nemechek top 15. Todd Gillen top 15. He had an off strategy that got him kind of up there. And Josh Berry in 15th. All in all, today's race really did bring everything you could have possibly wanted at a mile and a half. For mile and a halfs being targeted lately, racing in NASCAR kind of being targeted the last few weeks for just not kind of producing, I think for once this was a breath of fresh air. We had a race that produced some action, that gave us something to be happy about, and really did deliver. So I'm very firmly impressed by the racing that was on that track today. I don't have much else to say. Again, I know this is now 2 weeks in a row where I've come on here with short episodes. I'm wicked busy, but I'm hitting the gas and I'm giving it an A+ today. One of the best mile and a half. Now, with the cautions, I was going to tank it, but with the finish, it's got to be A+. It's not quite Atlanta. It wasn't the same. The field does get spread out, but again, that finish could have been a 4 wide if we had one more lap. I firmly believe that. So, hitting the gas, that's it for me. I'll see you next week. I'll probably see you at the end of the week for throwback. I really don't know yet, but I'm busy, so we'll see. Till then, peace out. Good night.